Hello everyone, welcome to our first video on this channel. Today we're going to break down my Tri-Club's Tour de Zwift Stage 1. So welcome everyone. So it's me, Mog, and Bog.
Yeah, hello guys. So in this first bit of this stage is roughly 17k, just all out smash. So it's on the Frugo Flats route. So we'll be averaging about 45k an hour. We've got a 2.4k lead in, which is just basically like a neutral zone, like they do in the Tour de France, where people can just group up, so we all start at the same time.
Yeah.
And then so this course was one of the most like energy sapping races I've done. Just the overall intensity of it, the amount of watts you had to put out for a long amount of time is just tiring. So I think
you can see quite a lot of people are pushing quite a lot of watts before the neutral zone. The neutral zone ends at this white line.
Duas is just like he's just attacking. Him and Kamal try to go off the front for like, they get like a 1 second lead or something.
There's you behind him.
Yeah.
And they quickly get done, and like I'm 2 seconds down.
Yeah.
From that, trying to just get back into the front.
Yeah.
Overall, the front group is established. You can see on the mini map right now, everything is in one straight line, and that line breaks up quite quickly. So a front group of about 10 or so. Breaks up. Yeah, you can see it's breaking up now. There's a group. Yeah, because there's about 4 groups on the road.
We have quite a mixed range of ability in here. So you have like the really good children, and then the good adults, and then obviously the quality drops a little bit as you go further back. But we've just established like a nice group holding. I think at this moment in time I was holding about 250 watts. Which is about my FTP, so it's quite a hard effort. But Matt is just attacking all the time.
Matt's just attacked off the front.
Yeah. I think he was trying to make it interesting. He was trying to break it up a little bit.
Trying to get a breakaway. We've only been riding for about 2k.
Yeah, this is
1.5k.
Yeah, this is about 1.5k from the start, so it's not exactly like we're near the finish. They would have a long way to go. I think we established quite a good group though, quite early on.
Yeah, you can see how quickly the group is broken up. If you look at the map on the top right hand, there's that first group with the orange arrow in it, and then there's a group of about two or three behind that.
Yeah.
Probably about 30 seconds down. But Frugo Flats is a really hard course to get a breakaway on.
Yeah.
Because it's just so flat. There's about 14, 20 meters of elevation, I think, over the whole thing. Which is nothing. So
I think
it's quite hard.
I don't think you can get away when you've got a group which is of this level, where we're all around the same level. There's maybe a couple of riders who are a lot better and a couple of riders who are not as good, but when you try and break away solo, unless you drag 5 or 6 people with you, like you split up the group half and half, I doubt you'll get away really, because Zwift drafting is a little bit more effective than real life drafting.
Matt's gone off the front again.
Kamal and Christian Neal were the real like chasers. They brought the group up quite a lot of times, really.
Yeah, you can see there's Kamal and Chris, and then everyone behind is kind of doing about 4.5 watts per kilo, just trying to keep up with them. But through these waterfalls, the race kind of comes back quite a bit.
Yeah, I think that some people think, oh, it's all about my average power. Whereas, like, in the actual race, you need to be thinking about conserving as much energy as possible and using the least amount of power to get to get to the front or to stay in a group. So I think we'll skip it on now to the turnaround. So if we skip it on to about 12:45, we're on the little loop by the petrol service station in Zwift. So that is where we are at the moment, and I think we've just completed the turnaround, and we've just passed the second group who are going into the turnaround. So we've got about, I'd say, a 40-second lead on the second group, which is extremely significant.
You can see, I think, Rob, pace kind of pushes a bit on the front now. Yeah, the pace not many people
let up, did it? It was always just intense from the whole way. Yeah. So.
And you can see you can't see the other group on the map anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're quite a bit down.
Yeah, well, if you're not used to Zwift racing and you don't know how that you need to attack from the gun, I think it would be quite hard to sort of get back in the group, even if you're of a high quality rider. So I think we've got about 6k to go from here, which is obviously, this is where people are starting to think about, do I want to exert that energy or do I want to try save it for the sprint?
And this did come down to the sprint. I think Matt didn't want it to come down to the sprint. He tried to get a couple of seconds on us and trying to establish a breakaway, but I don't think anyone really wanted to be in a breakaway when the pace was this high. We're going about 40, 46, 47k an hour.
Yeah.
So.
And even if you do push massive watts, like I said before, it's really hard to get away.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think I'm on the front right now. I'm pushing, I think 6.5 watts per kilo. Just trying to separate this group, this big group. I think there's about 12 of us probably in this group. I'm trying to separate it to probably get about half of that, because coming into this, I thought there's a lot of stronger riders like Matt, Chris, yourself, Ben.
Matt tried to go an absurd amount of times.
Yeah, there's quite a lot of people who, on paper, I think should beat me in a sprint, but
I think that's where the power ups. That's where the power ups come into play. Because if, say, someone like Matt had a really bad power up, and someone like, I don't know, Ben Parnell, who hasn't been doing much training recently, he has a really good power up. He could then essentially overtake him due to a power up. So that's sort of where the fun comes into it. It gives some of the maybe not as talented riders a chance in a sprint, which is cool about Zwift. But I think Zwift, they need to reduce the advantage of drafting and the disadvantage of not being in the draft. Because I think being in the draft is a little bit too advantageous. You can push so little watts and keep with the group, but I think they need to make it so that if you're dropped, you can push. You don't need to push as hard to get back on. Right, so I think.
Because generally, if you're out of the group, you're out of the group. You could be distanced by about a second.
Yeah, especially in a course like this.
The pace might go up by about maybe 2-3 kilometers per hour, and you'll just get dropped. I mean, it's in Zwift, it's really hard to get back on.
Yeah, it's pretty brutal. So I think we'll skip now to the last K and a bit, maybe. So on 19:15, we're coming up to the finish. So this is an out and back course, so everyone sort of knows where they're going to finish and start, and so people can gauge their attack more, or their efforts more precisely. Everyone's pushing sort of 5 watts per kilo now.
Yeah, I think the group's broken up. Chris has gone on tack. Matt's trying to bring that back, and
everyone regroups here with about.
There's a chase group.
Everyone regroups, I believe, with about 800, 900, maybe a K to go.
Yeah.
It was quite an awkward position to be in.
Want to go.
Yeah.
Together.
It's quite an awkward position because when you regroup with that little time to go, it's very unlikely that there'll be another attack. So everyone was just sort of trying to conserve their energy.
Yeah, trying to play cat and mouse, I think.
Yeah.
Like, see who goes off the front first, and follow them really.
I think there was also a little bit of confusion.
Sprinting. Yeah, go on.
There was a little bit of confusion in this race because I think a lot of people thought that it finished under the Fuego flat start. So I think some people stopped there and then they lost more time, which was quite disadvantageous to them.
Yeah, I mean, especially with Zwift racing and sprinting on Zwift, it's really beneficial to have one of the power-ups like draft boost or featherweight or aero, because they kind of boost your abilities, and some people I don't think know how to use them very well, so they use their power-up at like with 400 meters to go, but
yeah, I believe
really
this stone arch here.
The power doesn't last for 400 meters.
This is where they thought the finish was.
Probably start your sprint.
This is where some people thought the finish was, on that white line. So I think some people stopped, but the finish was actually at the end of the meetup this time. So you see some people will start to go.
There's about 200 meters to go. Matt goes off the front. And the thing that's quite hard about this is everyone, it like gave all the help.
Yeah.
Or it said, sorry, not the help. It said like, oh yeah,
and there we go.
Mark got a new PR or something, and no one can see everyone. No one can see like anyone's watts per kilo. So.
And that's it. That was the end of the race.
Hard.
So. Yeah, that was a good race.
I came off with the win. I think Ben, you came off
third
place, joint third with Matt.
Yeah.
Christinio in second. So I think all round it was
a good race.
I really liked that stage actually, because it was quite fast.
Yeah.
And short. I mean,
so
with a nice sprint at the end.
Thank you for watching the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you in the next video, I guess. If you enjoyed it, please remember to like, and if you're not subscribed, can you subscribe, please? Helps us out. Thank you.